Welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, our show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're checking us out on YouTube, man. We appreciate the check-in. Please make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe, share, follow, comment if you disagree, like if you agree. You know the rules. Hope everybody's doing great. Pretty busy week as far as news and sports is concerned. We got a lot to talk about, man. But I want to start making sure I'm starting the show with just some general life type shit. You know what I mean? I'm on episode, what is this? Episode 3 of the Sean Combs documentary that 50 Cent executive produced. And man, let me tell you something. This shit is crazy. This shit is absolutely is a bunch of information that I didn't know. I'm not one of those people, man, that tries to follow every detail of the story because I come from a generation where sometimes it's just better to mind your business. You know what I mean? Like just because it's a star and it's out here in front of you doesn't mean it's still any of your business. Now, when wrongdoings are being done, like in this case, and in the case of a lot of other people, you know what I mean, R. Kelly, people like that, you know, because they are celebrities, it's brought out to the forefront and it's brought to our faces so we can see because of social media. It's magnified. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, you don't have a choice but to get in everybody's business, or at least anybody who has a name. But that whole, that 50 Cent shit, I think we probably got less than 200 subscribers less than 500 subscribers on YouTube. Probably, I don't know, maybe 200 on Instagram. TikTok's doing well. Facebook's doing well. I think it's over like 700 on there. But if 50 Cent called me today and was like, look, man, I want to executive produce your podcast, I would go in there with a team of motherfuckers because that is not the nigga that you want to do business with and not have your shit together. The way that he is painting this documentary is fucking crazy. And I'm not saying he painted it like it's not true. I'm not saying that it's not true. I absolutely believe a lot of this is true. You know what I mean? But just that venom, like it just makes me wonder, like, what the fuck did Puff do to Fifth? You know what I mean? To make him go at him like this. But this is just 50 Cent's MO, man. Like, you know what I mean? He for real plays that bully role. He's definitely the bad guy. But this shit is good. Like, real talk. This documentary is good. I'm enjoying it, man. But let's move on to sports, man. I know y'all got a lot more to do to talk about Puffy and 50 and all that other shit. We want to talk about the Sharon Moore situation from Michigan. I want to tell you, just give an overall NBA feel currently. The NBA Cup quarterfinals and finals are this weekend. We're going to tap into that a little bit. And I'm going to tell you 4 guys in the NBA that I think is on the move. 4 guys. All right. So let's get to it. The NBA Cup quarterfinals are this weekend. We got the Knicks versus, who the Knicks are playing? Orlando. They're playing Orlando, my bad. And we got the Spurs and OKC. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive Cup quarterfinal. I think the finals will be competitive. I know everybody's really on this whole train of nobody can beat OKC, and you know they're gonna run through the West, and it'd be so funny to watch people live in the moment sometimes, and it's like how quickly you forget. Why do we act like OKC didn't have a real struggle path to the finals last year? And then when you got to the finals, you played a team in the East that wasn't the number 1 seed, didn't dominate all year, not really picked by a lot of people to go to the finals, and they took you all the way to Game 7. They took you all the way to Game 7. And last time I checked, that's the same OKC team over there. You know what I mean? Maybe a piece or two here or whatever the case may be, but that's the same team. So you want me to believe now that they're just automatically going to run through the NBA. Man, go ahead, man. Come on, man. Grow the fuck up, man, and learn something about sports. Just pay attention to basketball, man. Just pay attention to, yes, they are very good. Yes, they should be considered the favorites. Do I think that they're going to just dominate and nobody's going to stand a chance to stop them? No, I do not. Okay? No, I do not think that at all. They're going to have a hard time getting out the fucking West. Okay? They're going to have, I don't give a fuck if they only lost 1 game in the season. That shit does not matter in April. None of this shit matters in April. It matters what that team looks like in April. And it is a lot of shit that can happen between now and April. So they're matched up with the Spurs. I am very, very impressed with the Spurs. I think the Spurs are underrated team. I'm gonna tell you when I'm very impressed with them without Wemby. Without Wemby, I'm not even gonna try to say my man name, but without Wemby, they're still a very tough opponent. You know what I mean? They dismantled the Lakers the other night. I mean, just completely dismantled the Lakers, and they really exposed Austin Reeves not being able to guard. LeBron had a good game. Definitely, you could see the weaknesses in his game where he's, was supposed to be a stronger defender. He's not that anymore. Can help out and play good defense in spurts. Luka's given effort, but he's still nobody's I'm gonna lock you down type defender. I don't think anybody fears him. So, the Spurs are tough, man. Stephen Castle, Vassell, Champagny, good Harrison Barnes, good strong vet, Keldon Johnson, very good basketball player. Stephen Castle, I think, is quietly becoming a very dominant player in this league. He is quietly becoming a very dominant player in this league. And when I say dominant, I don't mean he goes out there and dominates every night. But if you look at his skill set and his tools and the things that he can do, and once he learns how to do it on a consistent basis, I'm not seeing a whole lot of guys that can stop it. Okay? I'm not seeing a lot of guys that can stop it. I think that's a great matchup. I heard Wemby's supposed to be coming back. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to take the Spurs. I'm going to say the Spurs knock off the team that everybody thinks is just completely unbeatable. Wemby probably has a big night. Him and Chet is always popcorn. It's always a great matchup. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch it, man. I think it's going to be great. In the other game, the Knicks in Orlando. Orlando's been playing better. I was a little disappointed if you've been keeping up with the pod. I said they were a little disappointing earlier in the season. It looks like they found their rhythm. Bane is playing a lot better. Looks like he's fitting into the offense. He does look like he's having an identity crisis or something because he is making some weird fucking plays. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I ain't talking about basketball reasons. Like when you slam the buddy to the ground, you threw the ball at him. Come on, man. I don't understand that shit, man. But whatever. But they are playing better. They look better. Jalen Suggs has found a real role with that team since they got rid of Cole Anthony. Banchero's back. Carter's solid down low. Should be a good matchup. They're going against the Knicks. The Knicks are another team that's kind of been up and down, but looks like they're finding their stride. Karl Anthony Towns looks a lot better over the last few games. Brunson, a lot more consistent. Again, these teams are going to change as the year goes on, but I'm going to take the Knicks in this one. I'm going to take the Knicks in this one. I think the shooting of Brunson and their wing play is going to be a little bit too much for Orlando to overcome. So I like the Spurs and the Knicks matched up in the finals. Please don't bet on this. I'm not giving you this for better purposes. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. You tune into the show because you want to know how I feel. That's how I feel. All right? That's how I feel. But I like the Knicks. I like the Knicks and I like the Spurs tonight. But I do want to talk real quickly about four pretty big stars in the NBA that I think is on the move. And I just kind of been monitoring and paying attention to the situation. Giannis, I think everybody knows is on the move. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even a question. I think Giannis is on the move. Kendrick Perkins had a lot to say about Giannis being a coward and all this other shit. Man, bro, I completely agree with Richard Jefferson. It was on his podcast. Giannis don't owe us no explanations. Okay? He don't owe us not explanation about where he's going, what his plans are. That's the difference between being, I would say, a media person or a journalist and a character. You know what I mean? Richard Jefferson understood that. He brought it up. And he said, you know what I mean? He doesn't owe us a fucking thing. He doesn't owe us anything. And Kendrick Perkins like, yeah, he does. And da-da-da-da-da. Or he didn't say, yeah, he does. But he was like, no, he's just playing sleight of hand. And that's his business. He's doing business just like you doing business, bro. The difference is he ain't calling you out your name. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me, man. But I digress, man. Another guy that I think is on the move is Trae Young. Trae Young with the Atlanta Hawks. I don't think the Hawks have grown tired of him, but I think the Hawks are seeing that they are a very competitive team without him. And as much as you want all those points and the assists, and Trey's an amazing player, that's a competitive team. That team is the number 9 team in the East right now. Without Trae Young, he's missed most of the season. Imagine what you can get back for Trae Young to make that team even better. Jalen Johnson is emerging. Dyson Daniels is solid. The number 1 pick from a year ago or last year. He's playing well, coming off the bench. So they're a deep team, man. I would dare to venture or dare to say that Trae is on the move definitely by All-Star break. Another guy, LaMelo Ball. Con Knueppel is going to shoot LaMelo Ball right out of Charlotte. And that doesn't mean I think Con Knueppel is better than him, but I think the organization likes what they see in Knueppel. I think they know they can get a pretty good haul for LaMelo if they decided to move on from him and decided to trade him. And it's an opportunity to switch gears for the franchise. They're playing very competitive basketball. I don't know for sure if LaMelo takes basketball very seriously. He just does certain things on the court that makes me feel like it's all still a game to him. And it is a game. It's not life or death. It's basketball. You know what I'm saying? But it's a certain level of seriousness, that comes along with being a professional. And some of the things that I've seen, the screaming for the ball, super loud, instead of just running down and getting in position because everybody on your team can run the floor. It rubs me the wrong way, but, again, I've never sat down with Buddy. I don't know his heart. I'm just saying what it looks like. And what it looks like is he's not taking it serious. And I think that coach, I've seen that coach for the Charlotte Hornets, young black guy, I don't know his name, forgive me. He sat him down quite a few times in crunch moments. And I don't want to hear shit about, it's a minute restriction. Yeah, coaches know about minute restrictions. If they think they're going to need their guy, their number 1 guy, they're going to make sure that his minutes come during that time. That's not what that coach is doing. Okay? This is absolutely not what that coach is doing. I said LaMelo, I said Giannis. It was a 4th guy, man. Damn, who was the 4th guy? This is what happens when you have coffee and you get up early on a Saturday morning. You're not supposed to. Who the fuck was the 4th guy, man? Giannis, LaMelo, Trae Young. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is definitely on the move. He's for sure on the move. He's not, I don't think he's happy to be in Dallas. I think Dallas is really wanting to blow up that situation and completely just start over. And they know they can get a lot for Anthony Davis. I do think he's on the move as well, man. But we will see. We'll see what happens with that. I want to move over to the Sherrone Moore story and just kind of give you my thoughts on that right now. Sherrone Moore from the University of Michigan was unfortunately caught up in a very, very unfortunate situation that he was messing with outside of marriage, told his wife, and I guess his wife did what wife's gonna do in that situation. He tripped. He drove over to the assistant's house, threatened to kill himself as well as her, and is currently in jail, or I think he got bond or something like that. My thoughts on the situation is I've heard a lot of people say, it's going to set black coaches back, and it's not a great look because you're the only African American head coach that's ever had that job, and this is what gets you out the door. I don't think he was doing a bad coaching job, but I don't think people would have considered him one of the elites. I think he was well liked for the most part. I don't think it sets black coaches back. I think it sets him back. And I think everybody is responsible for their own actions. I don't have a right to judge that man. I'm not in that situation to where I think it's a super setback for him. Not only are you in danger of losing your family, you lost your job, you're losing the contract, and you might not get a second chance. You know what I mean? Like, you might not get a coordinator position. Make amends for this and move on with his life and maybe get back to what he loves to do. But these are very, very serious indications and stuff that a lot of people don't bounce back from if you're black. Now, if you're white, it's a little different. And I think Jamel Hill made a great point on that. Like, we got Bobby Petrino, you got Rick Pitino, you got a multitude of people, not black, who have been able to come back from something like this and have prosperous careers. So I just hope that at one point in time, once he makes amends for it, I think he should get another opportunity to be able to coach. I mean, Idoka got another opportunity to coach. I think he learns his lesson. People make mistakes. I'm not excusing it or making light of the situation or anything like that, man. But people make mistakes, and you got to learn from them. This is one that played out in front of the public. Unfortunately, because of the position and the power that you currently had or used to have, I should say. And we're going to have to see where it goes from here. But this is definitely a bad look for him. University of Michigan, they're going to be moving on, searching for a new head coach, and whoever gets that's a huge opportunity. Unfortunately, Coach Moore has let that opportunity slip because he could not fight off temptation. And I'm sure there was a ton of fucking temptation at that job or any job. But I will say this. Anybody who thinks that this shit is not happening to at least half of the coaches in any profession, you're fucking naive. You're super naive. He just the one who got caught. Bobby Petrino was a guy who got caught. Rick Pitino was a guy who got caught. These are guys who got caught doing it. That doesn't mean it's not happening because you or me don't know about it. You know what I mean? And that's the power in a bad way and a good way for social media. Sometimes you're being brought aware to situations like this, but it also invokes everybody to have an opinion, and everybody gets to hear the opinion because of social media. So that's my thoughts on it, man. Sorry to everybody involved, but it is what it is, man. You got to stand tall. You got to stand on business. You did that, and you got to deal with the consequences at this point, man. But that's all I have for y'all, man. I'm going to try to get another episode out. Hopefully this week. This will be 2. So it's been rough trying to adjust to the new job, man. So I'm trying to get a lot of recording done on the weekends. Things of that nature, man. But I'm still rocking with y'all. I appreciate every subscribe, every like, comment. Whether you agree or disagree, man, we definitely appreciate you at the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. Tees and Trees is the clothing line. Peace.